Ephemeral trade. I mean, you do it because, frankly, you've been flung out of every job that has any substance you've ever been in. I mean, rock and roll is an industry devoted to keeping down and outs in a certain amount of comfort and a lifestyle that they enjoy.
Sort of Ireland's a family-run country, which is rather nice because it's very small and everybody knows everybody else, and it's nice being the Horslips in a way. I just sail recklessly through speed limits all over the country. Because one night on the way to Navan, a dance in Navan, I'm shot through a speed check at an enormous rate, and because it was a wet night I couldn't stop very quickly, so I skidded to a halt down the road and reversed back to the barrier, and the police man came over and said, "You're going a bit fast there, weren't you?" And I said, "Well, officer, I was late for a gig." And he said, "Oh, you're a band, are you?" And I said, "Yeah." And he looked inside and he said, "What band are you?" So I said, "We're the Horslips." And he looked at us for a second. He said, "You may be the Horslips." He said, "But we're the Fuzz. Watch it." I don't know if you experience what we experience when you eat Chinese meals, which is a monosodium glutamate coma, which dulls the senses and weakens the will. And we were all lying about in a Chinese restaurant, and somebody said, let's call this group something. So some amazingly pretentious person, I think probably me, said, "Let's call it the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse." And a sodden voice from the other end of the table said, "I think it should be the Four Poxmen of the Horslips." And Horslips it was.
Anyone that's played a tent with cow dung all over the floor, a bull chewing at the mains lead, and a 6-foot hole, and the rain falling in on your gear, it's some experience, believe me. No, Irish audiences are amazing. It could be 20,000 farmers looking for a wife, and there could be only 2 women available at the dance that particular night, and all of the boys are wearing welly boots, covered in same dung, belting across the floor at the beginning of each new number to grab said woman or women.
It's a bit like the circus, really.
Sort of carry with you at all times the elements of culture shock. Yeah. But there are lovely things as well when you're on the road in Ireland, because various places down the country you bump into traditional musicians, totally strange pairings of these lads rambling in peculiar clothes, and an old man in sort of Wellingtons and corduroy trousers who'll take up a fiddle and play these incredible tunes.
Because we were rockers, we're people who grew up listening to pop music, we just happened to feel that Irish culture and Irish forms had something to give to the sort of thing we like to play.
The Táin saga is probably Ireland's most illustrious saga. It's a sort of King Arthur-style Irish legend. It's a heroic saga and deals with a cattle raid, basically. What else? Táin means raid. It was originally Táin Bó Cúailnge, the cattle raid of Cooley. It deals with a conflict between the forces of Ulster and the forces of the rest of Ireland. It concerns a queen in the south of Ireland called Maeve and her allies attacking Ulster to steal a prize bull.
The fact that the Táin is about a battle, I'm sure, and particularly about a battle over something, some sort of strange totem, I think reflects something very close to the soul of the Irish. All the wars are merry and all their songs are sad. I mean, they do seem to make do quite a lot of fighting over things, you know. Yeah, I think there's a certain amount of significance in that.
Queen Maeve was the lady who led the allies of the south of Ireland, and she was a very wily old queen, very evil, the stuff of fairy tales, and she was also amazingly promiscuous. And in fact, throughout the original manuscripts, the Yellow Book of Lecan and the Book of the Dun Cow, the Book of Leinster, you find her sort of just bowling at practically everybody. And I mean, she just disappears in certain chapters, literally into the bushes with soldiers or deposed kings.
We got the idea for Maeve's Court from a tune called Knockin' Free. It is in fact an Irish melody called Knockin' Free. The Heathy Little Hill. It's from the Joyce collection. Joyce was an Irish folk song collector, you know. It's a beautiful melody.
Cuchulainn is the hero of the Táin saga, and he's known in the story by a variety of names. And we felt we needed a sort of quite clipped title for him. And Jarrog in Irish means red, and he was known as the Red Destroyer or the Red Doom, so we just call it Jarrog Doom. And basically the song Jarrog Doom, it's based on an Irish melody, and lyrically it just basically concerns his sort of heroic boasts, if you like.
The tradition of the boast, the epic boast, which is an epic tradition too, that before you hammered your opponent, you told him just exactly how you were going to do it and why you were going to do it. And that is very much an Irish, still an Irish tinker tradition, by the way. I mean, they still tell each other what they're going to do to each other. And this is what you did. And Jarrog Doom is just super boast. It's sort of super paddy, telling his opponent exactly what he's going to do. And the words are fairly fearsome because of it.
There's another story that illustrates, I think, the attempt to fuse the theatrical tradition with the music tradition, but which is very Irish in a way, in using the full sort of array of pyrotechnic devices, i.e. a squib on stage in Cork. And one of Peter, our lightsman, who's very tall, set off this flash in the middle of the stage. Unfortunately, it didn't go out and proceeded to burn blaze merrily. So he suddenly ran from the wings and tried to stamp it out, whereupon both his clogs went on fire. And he did this sort of mad voodoo dance around the stage, trying to stamp both the squib and himself out. Was eventually hauled off the stage by other people at the side and put out, extinguished at the side. And he has since received fan letters from people who had seen us then and have seen us now, and who'd claim that the show has never been the same since we dropped the fire dancer.